Welcome to the deep dive. You guys have sent in a montana of Flamengo content, match analysis, post-game reactions, fan celebrations,
Yeah.
all about that Copa do Brasil final.
It's true. Everyone's still buzzing about that win, and especially about Gabigol's Bamba right as the party was getting started.
Our mission.
Yeah.
Should we choose to accept it?
Yeah.
Break it all down for you. Whether you're a Mengon diehard or just starting your flawed journey,
Right.
we're going for that insider feel.
Yeah.
Hitting the tactics,
Of course.
the emotions, and yes, that Gabigol drama.
Exactly. We're diving deep into how Flamengo outclassed Atlético Mineiro, turning a tough final into a 4-1 aggregate victory.
Right out of the gate, let's relive the glory. Flamengo are Copa do Brasil champions again. That 1-0 win at the Arena MRV sealed the deal.
I know.
But it wasn't just about the final score, right?
Absolutely not. This victory tells a story of a team reborn. They were struggling mid-season, but then Felipe Luiz steps in, and suddenly it's a tactical transformation, a totally different energy.
9 games in as manager, and he's already hoisting trophies. Copa do Brasil and the U20 World Championship. Replacing tight mid-season was a bold move, and then this. What did the sources say about how Felipe Luiz pulled it off?
It's fascinating. He comes across as incredibly self-aware. He acknowledges Tite's legacy, but also makes it clear he's got his own vision, his own way of playing the game. He even turned down a chance to be on the national team staff, saying his ideas were just too different.
Wow, talk about commitment. This wasn't just a job. It was a chance to build something new. Okay, so let's break down this tactical masterclass everyone's raving about.
Well, Atlético Mineiro plays a 3-at-the-back formation, and from the sources, it sounds like Luiz really had a plan to dismantle that.
You know, I love the tactical details. Give us the goods. What was the game plan, and did it work?
It did, but it wasn't easy. Luiz admitted that Milito's 3-5-2 in the second leg initially threw him off. He had to adapt his pressing strategy on the fly, which is impressive considering Atlético were Copa Libertadores finalists.
That's intense. What specific adjustments did he make? Did the sources get into the nitty-gritty?
They did. Luiz specifically called out the second-half substitutions as the turning point, bringing on Bruno Henrique for Gabigol, then Fabricio Bruno to shore up the defense. This freed up the fullbacks, Wesley and Ayrton Lucas, to push higher up the pitch.
So it was like a chain reaction. One change led to another, and suddenly Flamengo has control of the match.
Exactly. It's like he was conducting an orchestra, bringing in different instruments at just the right moment to create a symphony of football arte.
Beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, we have to talk about Gonzalo Plata, the unlikely hero of the final, scoring the winning goal. I remember reading he'd been struggling before this, right?
He was. That's why this goal is so significant. It's not just about the win. It's about Plata stepping up, proving his worth, silencing the doubters.
Talk about a redemption arc. The sources mentioned he's a World Cup player with Ecuador. Any insights into how he landed in Flamengo?
That's an interesting detail they didn't really cover. Maybe something for you to explore on your own. See if you can uncover that piece of the puzzle.
Okay, challenge accepted. Now on to the news that shook Nação Rubro-Negra to its core. Gabigol, Mr. Flamengo himself, drops a bombshell right after lifting the trophy. He's leaving. And not quietly either, hinting at some serious behind-the-scenes drama. What went down?
Gabigol went straight for the jugular, calling out the club president and sporting director by name. He claimed they broke promises, didn't treat him with respect, and basically left him out of the loop.
Ouch, that's rough. Were there specific incidents he mentioned, or was it more of a general feeling of discontent?
He mentioned finding out important decisions through podcasts, not from the club itself. He said he wanted a multi-year contract extension, but never got a formal offer. It seems like a combination of feeling betrayed and disrespected.
So a total breakdown in communication. Not exactly the fairy tale ending you'd expect for a club legend. What were the reactions like?
Mixed, for sure. Some sources see this as a natural end to his Flamengo era, while others are heartbroken about how it all went down. It's a tough situation, especially with him moving to Cruzeiro, a rival.
Cruzeiro? Wow, that adds another layer of complexity to this whole thing.
It raises so many questions. Was the relationship truly irreparable? Could they have handled this with more grace? We're left with this bittersweet feeling. Gabigol is a Flamengo icon, but his exit definitely leaves a stain.
Okay, so far, we've got a Copa do Brasil title, a new manager who's already a legend, a surprise hero, and a dramatic exit that's got everyone talking. Flamengo's never boring, is it?
Not even for a second. And this is just the beginning of a new chapter. What will Felipe Luiz's reign look like without Gabigol? Who will step up to fill that void?
These are excellent questions.
Yeah.
That's where you come in. We've given you the highlights, but the exploration continues. What stands out to you? What are you most curious about? Keep digging, because you might just uncover insights we haven't even touched on.
What's fascinating about Felipe Luiz is that he doesn't just understand the football itself. He seems to grasp the whole Flamengo ecosystem. The players, the torcida, that unique Mengon spirit.
Yeah, going through these sources, you get the sense that he's not just a coach. He's a leader who understands what makes Flamengo tick.
He talks about how he tailors his approach to each game, factoring in the opponents, the stakes,
Right.
even how the fans are likely to react. It's like 4D chess, thinking several moves ahead.
Did the sources give any specific examples of this from the final? How did he adjust his strategy based on the context?
One example that stood out was his explanation for choosing zonal marking against Atletico Mineiro. Usually he prefers a high-pressing, man-marking style, but he knew that going too aggressive in this match could leave them exposed on the counter.
Especially with the lead to protect. The last thing you want is to give the Torcida a heart attack.
Exactly. He knew a clean sheet was crucial, even if it meant sacrificing some attacking flair. What's interesting is that he admitted this decision initially confused his players. They were expecting a more aggressive approach,
Yeah.
but he trusted them to adapt, and in the end, it paid off.
That's the mark of a great leader, knowing when to trust your instincts in your team. And let's not forget his genius substitutions. Bringing on Bruno Henrique and then Fabrizio Bruno completely changed the flow of the game.
Right, those substitutions weren't just about personnel, they were about sending a message. It's like he was saying, we're not just here to defend, we're here to dominate.
Which brings us back to the Gabigol situation. Now that he's gone, Felipe Luiz needs to find that same spark, that same goal-scoring threat. Does he have the players to do it? What do the sources say about potential replacements?
One name that popped up repeatedly is Bruno Henrique. He's a proven match winner. And remember, Luiz brought him on in the second half of the final, almost like a glimpse of what's to come.
Oh, for sure. Bruno Henrique was key to their 2019 Libertadores win. Could this be his chance to step back into the spotlight?
It's definitely possible. He's got the experience, the talent, the garra to lead the attack. But let's not forget Pedro. When healthy, he's a goal machine. And then there's the young blood, Lázaro and Mateo, who can really thrive under Luiz's guidance.
That's what I find so exciting about this new era. It's not just about replacing Gabigol, it's about building for the future. And Felipe Luiz seems like the perfect coach to unlock the potential of these younger players.
He definitely has an eye for talent. Remember, he's the one who brought Wesley up from the youth ranks. And now look at him, one of the most exciting young fullbacks in the Brasileirão.
Speaking of Wesley, I read that European clubs were sniffing around him earlier this year. Thank goodness he stayed. His performances have been incredible.
Some sources mentioned that offers were on the table, but Flamengo held firm, and now his value has probably doubled. Smart move.
Absolutely. But it brings up an interesting point. If Flamengo wants to stay at the top, they need to be shrewd in the transfer market. They've got to find the right replacements for players like Gabigol and add depth to the squad.
It won't be easy to find another Gabigol, but the good news is that Luiz seems happy with the club's recent transfer business. He was particularly impressed with the additions of Plata, Michael, Alcaraz, and Alexandro.
He even called Alexandro a monster for his performance against Corinthians.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's already thinking about his next shopping list.
Exactly. And I'm curious to see how his tactical philosophy will shape their transfer targets. He might prioritize versatile players who can adapt to different formations and pressing strategies.
Okay, so picture this. It's January 2025. The transfer window is open, and Felipe Luiz is sitting down with the Flamengo board.
He's got his notebook, his tactical diagrams that determine look in his eye.
And he says, all right, here's what we need. And he says, all right, here's what we need. I can just imagine him saying, we need a matador, a striker who can not only score goals, but also involve himself in the build-up play.
Yes.
Link up with the midfielders, create chances for himself and his teammates.
Exactly. A Gabigol 2.0, but maybe with even more tactical discipline and awareness. Someone who can press high and really fit into Felipe Luiz's system. Someone who understands what it means to wear the Manto Sagrado.
And let's not forget the defense. Some of the sources pointed out that Flamengo's backline has been a bit shaky at times this season.
Right. Luiz might be looking for a commanding center back. Someone who can organize the defense, a leader who can bring that stability and confidence. It's a high-pressure environment at Flamengo. Every match feels like a final.
Absolutely. They need players who can handle the heat, who thrive under pressure, players with both the technical skills and the mental toughness to play for a club like Flamengo.
You also need a certain personality to handle the Torcida.
Mhm.
We've talked about them a bit, but their passion and intensity are really a force of nature.
They can lift the team to incredible heights or bring them crashing down if things aren't going well.
That's why Luiz's connection with the Torcida is so crucial. He gets what they expect, he respects the history, the tradition, the weight of that Flamengo shirt, and he seems determined to build a team that embodies that spirit.
And so far, he's doing an incredible job.
He is, but this is just the beginning. The real test is maintaining this success over time, navigating the inevitable ups and downs, and building a legacy that puts him among the Flamengo greats.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? The Copa do Brazil victory is a fantastic moment, but it's also a stepping stone to something even bigger. We've gone deep on the sources you sent us, uncovered some incredible insights, but remember, this deep dive doesn't end here.
Now it's up to you. Take these insights, combine them with your own Flamengo knowledge and passion, and see where they lead. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next great Mengam analyst.
Maybe you'll be the one predicting the next tactical revolution or spotting the next superstar before anyone else. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep believing in O Mais Querido.
Until next time, Yedu.